What if your coasters look like folded satin or wrinkled leather, but shifted with chameleon hues, tiny fabric sculptures trapped in glass? If that's the kind of experiment you love, stay with me. Hello guys, welcome back to LisinCult Resin Lab, where we try to tackle real challenging parts of resin together. Today we're creating this beautiful effect, Wrinkled Chameleon effects, as a coaster. Let's dive in. I have seen some resin artists make this vibrant Wrinkled Chameleon effect. It looks amazing, doesn't it? But the problem shows up when you demold it. The front is gorgeous, but when you flip it over and the back looks like this, uneven, wavy, and not really suitable as a proper coaster. It just doesn't match that perfect front, right? Some people try to fix it by covering the back with an adhesive cork sheet, or by pouring another layer of black paste resin to level out all these dips and waves. The cork just hides it, but it doesn't really look professional on such a bumpy surface. And pouring black paste on top, it's risky. If it seeps over the sides and creeps onto the front, you have just created a new problem. So I started thinking, instead of fighting with the back at the end, why not fix it at the beginning? What if we make one small change to the process? First, a thin, flat layer of black paste resin, that will be the back of the coaster, then the wrinkled piece on top, and finally clear resin layer to seal everything. It's just one extra step, but if it works, we get that dramatic wrinkled chameleon on the top and the smooth, solid black back. Let's test it together and see if it's a win or a fail. For this technique, we normally need two molds in the same shape but different sizes. A large mold to create the wrinkle layer and a small mold as a base coaster mold. My large mold is 30 centimeters in diameter, but today I'm turning it into an experiment. For the base mold, I will use two different sizes, one with 12 centimeters in diameter and another one with 10 centimeters in diameter, to show you how changing the final mold size changes the effect. But there is one important point. The base coaster mold should be fairly deep, around 2 centimeters. Look at this one, or this one. We are going to use these two as a base coaster mold. That gives you enough room to place the wrinkle layer and still cover it fully with a clear resin on top as the final layer. For the both mold, the one I'm using for the wrinkle layer and the one I'm using as a base coaster mold, I'm using medium viscosity resin mixed with black paste. In the large mold, medium viscosity wrinkles and shaped easily, and in a small one, it gives us a soft base so the wrinkled layer can bond really well on top. In this technique, timing is really important. After pouring your resin, let the resin reach a semi-cured stage where it peels away from the mold easily, feels soft and flexible, but isn't tacky anymore. This is the time we can shape the wrinkled layer and stick it on top of the base layer. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm working on the smaller molds. These will be our base layers, and I'm just using 2 cavities of each mold. For this step, I'm pouring a thin, even layer of black paste resin mixture into each mold. Keep this layer nice and thin, not a heavy pour, because it will become a flat backside of our coaster. That's it. If you would like exact resin calculation for each mold size, I have put all the measurements in a free PDF guides link in the description box. After pouring, torch it lightly just to pop up the surface bubbles and then set the mold aside to start curing. Now the larger molds, where we create the wrinkle layers. I'm using 4 different colors for this step. Brush the chameleon powder over the base of each mold and wipe away the extra so there is just thin, even coat left. Let's do it together. Now they are ready for the black resin layer. Okay, my resin is ready, and again the exact resin amounts for these steps are also in the PDF guide. Pour a thin layer of black paste resin over the powder surface. Keep it thin. If you make it too thick, it becomes much harder to wrinkle and shape it later. Now we just leave 3 sets of molds until they reach that semi-cure stage. Soft and flexible, but not sticky. The exact timing depends on your resin, so always check your resin specifications or do a small test. With mine, it's something about 7 or 8 hours, so I will leave them to set and then comes to the fun part of this project, wrinkling time. See you then! It has been about 8 hours and the resin is at that perfect semi-cure stage. Not sticky, it peels easily from the mold, and it is still soft and flexible. The timing always depends on your resin type, so you will need a bit of trial and error to find the right time. In our case, they are ready to be shaped. We have 4 pieces, 2 for the small base molds and 2 for the larger ones. But before we start shaping, there are some important tips. When you crumple and shape the chameleon layer, avoid using your fingernail. The surface is still soft and even light pressure can leave a little marks. You can wear cotton gloves under your nitrile gloves for extra padding, and I'm doing the same here, so I can create wrinkles without leaving marks. The second point, when you place it onto the black base, make sure the edges cover the black layer all the way around so both layers bond clearly. And last one, if you need to lift and reposition some areas to change the wrinkles, do it gently so you don't pull up that thin black base from the bottom of the mold. Alright, let's do the wrinkling. Let us start with the larger mold. Gently peel the chameleon layer out of the mold and crumple it just enough to create soft folds and wrinkles. It has already about 1 centimeter larger than the base mold, but if you want a stronger fold, gently stretch it from a few sides, then shape the wrinkles. Take your time and work gently. Then lay it onto the black base to cover it. Covering the black base all the way around so nothing shows from the top. And if needed, gently lift and reposition the wrinkles until you like how they look. It's a bit challenging, but it's fun. After a few trying, you really get the hang of it. Press just enough so both layers make good contact without flattening the wrinkles or shifting the black layer. And check that all folds sit below the mold edge so we can cover everything with clear resin. Okay, one is done. I will make the second one the same way. Okay, the 2 large bases are ready. Now we will move on to the small base molds. Here the size differences is bigger, about 2 centimeters, so the wrinkles will look tighter and more dramatic. Crumple the chameleon layer a bit more so you can pack deeper folds into the smaller base mold. For this one, we don't need to stretch it. Just scrunch it in your hands and then set it into the black base. It's a bit fiddly, but that's just part of the technique, so take your time with it. Okay, I will do the second on the same way. Okay, all four are done. Just checking that none of the wrinkles sit higher than the rim of the mold. If any areas are sticking up, gently press them down so everything stays just behind the edge. For now, the wrinkling part is finished. The last step is sealing everything with the clear resin. Some resin artists add the clear layer right away, but with my resin I prefer to wait. The wrinkle layers are still semi-cured, and a full clear pour can heat them up and distort these beautiful wrinkles. I would rather let them cure completely and keep those wrinkles sharp than rush and risk ruining the effect. Once they have cured completely, we will back for the final clear resin layer. Now that the wrinkle layers are fully cured, it's time to seal them with the clear resin. For this final step, pour a little clear resin into each mold until the edges of the wrinkle layers are covered. Then use a toothpick to guide it around the edges, into the corners, and down into the folds where bubbles like to hide. Once you are sure there are no trap bubbles, fill the molds completely so all the wrinkles are covered and the surface can level out evenly. Let's finish it together. Welcome to the fun part. It's the molding time. In this technique, the front is the real star. So let's pop them out and have a closer look. I will start with the larger coasters. The effect is stunning. Here the folds are wider and more relaxed, like softly gathered satin, and the chameleon colors glide over those big waves. And when I tilt it to the side, you really see the 3D effect, like rippled fabric frozen in resin. This one has a greenish gold color. And the second one, I think it has a green to purple color shift. So gorgeous. Now the smaller coasters. Because the base is smaller, the folds bunch up more, so the wrinkles look sharper and more dramatic, more like wrinkled leather. For this one, I scrunched the layer more, so it has more wrinkles and tighter folds. And as I move it, you can see how the colors flip from different angles, shifting into a bluish purple. And this purple one, amazing color shifting. Look at the folds and wrinkles. So nice. Both sizes look amazing. It just depends on which style you prefer. But before we look at the back sides, there's a quick what not to do. Look at this one. This piece is one of the test samples I made to find the right shaping time of my resin. It was already soft and not tacky, but you can see it doesn't have that leather look at all. The surface is covered with tiny crashed wrinkles and grainy texture. So it looks much busier than the smooth, leathery version. That's what happens when you shape the chameleon layer a bit too early, while it's still too soft. That's why timing is one of the key points in this technique. Now let's flip them over and check the back sides. Look at that, a flat, smooth, even backside. And instead of hiding that uneven surface with the big holes and high spots under a cork sheet, or risking the finish with the black coating, we added that black layer right at the beginning. It's just one extra step, but it makes the whole piece look so much more finished and professional. And this one, and two small ones. I'm really happy with these results. Now they look amazing. From softly gathered satin to rich leather wrinkles with a chameleon glow that slides from greenish gold to bluish purple. Hypnotic color shifting wrinkles frozen in time. So is this extra ester worth it when you want coaster with the clean professional finish? For me, yes. I would rather do one more pour and have a clean, perfect backside. What about you? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed learning how to create these beautiful effects and finish them with the cleaner, more polished look, hit the like button, share it with your resin artist friends, and subscribe for more resin experiments and challenges. You will also find a free PDF for this tutorial with all calculations and extra tips in the description box. And don't hesitate to share your questions, suggestions, and recommendations. The comments are where we can really talk and exchange ideas. See you in the next resin explorations at LisinCult Resin Lab.